Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kemi, and I'm here to talk about Beyond the Gates Season 2, Episode 113. Now, before we begin, make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and turning on your post notifications so you'll know whenever I post. All right, so we start this episode off with, and I'm just going to show this picture for all of the hospitals, for majority of the hospital scenes. So we start off the episode with a montage of everybody waiting for the surgeries to end and doing different things. We see Shanice. She checks on Ted. She asks if he needs anything. He says no, and they hug. Shanice then goes checks on Leslie, and she sees that Leslie is decorating Eva's room with people's discharge papers and just different stuff. Shanice can't deal with her right now. Leslie wants to know why she's being so nice to her, and she thinks something happened. So we see the Hawthorns, they're back at the police station, and Darlene can't believe she left Isaiah there by himself. Naomi says he's not alone. Her family is there. Jacob says that's where, no, Jacob says he wanted us to leave. He asked us to leave. Naomi says he's not alone. Her family is there. And Darlene says, yeah, your family. So Naomi says she'll go back to the hospital so that Isaiah isn't the only Hawthorne there. Darlene is happy that Isaiah and Elon reconnected and he was there for his boy. So we see Vanessa and Joey there at the casino. He was tossing and turning all night. He wants to be there for Isaiah, but he can't because, of course, he can't. He says Isaiah's trying to reconnect it with his family. Is he? I don't know about that, but whatever. But he doesn't want to ruin it. We see Martin, Vernon, and Anita. They're at Worthy Jeans, and they're talking about the campaign and that Martin's about to go live. Anita gets a text telling them that, I think it's from Danny, saying that it's going to be a while before they hear anything. Martin says he should be there, but things aren't looking good on the campaign front or whatever. So we see Martin. He does the live and he announces that he'll be donating the money, all the money that they raise to relief efforts and the things. And then he also says the things that he'll be doing and says that they'll rebuild together. We go back to the casino. Vanessa talks about wishing her life was simpler. Deanna and Donnell, that she wishes Deanna and Donnell like Joey and Isaiah could be seen together. Joey, they talk about her being domesticated. Joey says he doesn't think she'll last 3 days like that. She says she has to leave so she can go check on the Duprees, and she'll check on Isaiah for him, and he gives her a message to tell him. So we go back to the hospital. Shanice says she doesn't have any info to give Leslie, and she would tell her if she did. And she says when she's in nurse mode, she is a nurse, even for the people she doesn't like. Leslie appreciates it. Shanice tells her once Eva is on the mend and they see each other in the streets, is back to business as usual. Leslie says after everything that has happened, she is turning over a new leaf, and Shanice doesn't buy it, just like I don't buy it. And clearly, in the episodes that we're seeing now, she lied. So Tomas and Isaiah run into each other. Isaiah has an attitude with Tomas. Tomas says they don't have to talk, and he knows he isn't his favorite person after everything that happens between him and Eva, but they can put that on pause since the woman they love are both in surgery. Now, what I'm going to say about this, and y'all know I do not like Tomas, but Isaiah, you can have several effing seats because, sir, your girlfriend went after him. He was a willing participant, but your girlfriend still went after him, knowing that he was with her half sister. Again, Isaiah continues to give Eva a pass and puts all of her, everything that she did wrong, he puts it on everybody else but her. She never takes accountability for anything that she does. And it doesn't help that the two people in her life that love her, actually, the three people in her life that love her, all pushes the accountability onto somebody else, i.e., Kat, i.e., Tomas. It's Tomas' fault that they slept together and he chose Kat. It's Kat's fault that she slept with her boyfriend and talked mad ish about her every chance that she get. It's Leslie's fault that Eva came to town under false pretenses and busted up Nicole's life. It's everybody else's fault but Eva. And that is one of the reasons why I don't like the character of Eva. It's one of the reasons why I don't like the relationship of Isaiah and Eva, because he doesn't hold her accountable for her F-ish. He don't hold her accountable for nothing. She doesn't get held accountable for anything. And even when she should be held accountable for, everybody gives her a pass. Oh, it was because she grew up with it's because she grew up with Leslie as a mama. Leslie lied to her all her life. Um, she thought she was doing this for the greater good. It's always everybody else's fault but Eva. They all act like Eva is 5 years old and she can't do anything. It's so annoying because you, Isaiah, you weren't even in town when all of this stuff happened. You don't know what she did with that man prior to you coming to town. Even before they quote unquote went on a break, she was still making out with this man in public. She invited this man back to her room to make out with him so that they can have sex, but he pumped the brakes on it because of his relationship with Kat. And then she still was begging him to choose her. Pick me, pick me. But you don't like Tomas because he took advantage of Eva. When did he take? You know what? We're gonna move on. We see Shanice. She's talking to Ted. She's saying she knows how tough it is that both of his kids are in surgery. Vernon, Anita, and Martin show up, and they're there for whatever is needed, and they find out there are no updates given. We see Anita. She visits Leslie, gives and tells her she gives her grace and offers her to come sit with the Dupree family because no mother should ever go through this. And she, the Duprees are a bunch of them, and they're all pulling strength from each other. And Leslie shouldn't be alone, so she offers her to come sit with them so she can get strength for them as well, as long as she behaves and she as long as she behaves herself. So Leslie leaves her, I mean, Anita leaves her to think about it. We see what's it called? Vanessa shows up. She's talking to Danny. She's asking about Nicole. Nicole had a meeting that she wanted to cancel, but Danny talked her into going. It was better going there than waiting. And child, the reasons they be having Nicole leave situations just don't make sense. She left the cotillion to go and meet with one of her patients who was having a crises. We never heard anything about that patient after that. Now her daughter is having major surgery, about to given, like, getting cut up open to give a portion of her liver to somebody else, and she's going to a business meeting. Like, why couldn't she be there? Like, there was like, if they met their quota of people that could be in the scene, we didn't need to see Vanessa. If that's the reason why Nicole wasn't there, because there was too many people, we didn't need to see Vanessa. Vanessa was not needed. Low key, Andre was not needed. Like, Naomi low key wasn't needed. I mean, you had Naomi, Andre, all these people there except for the girl's mother. Like, why wasn't her mother there? But I digress. So, Danny tells her that she saw Kat before she was wheeled away, and they said "I love you" to each other. They're glad that they had their moment. Vanessa gets choked up and says she has a splash water on her face. She walks away to call Deanna and tell her that she loves her. We see Vernon is checking on Chelsea and he comforts her. Naomi sees Isaiah, and she goes to talk to him. He he asks her to do him a favor. Martin checks in with Ted. Ted hopes he wins. Martin is more worried about his sisters, and they need all the luck that they can get. We see Danny sees Vanessa and asks if she's okay. She says yeah. She asks Danny if she took her advice. She says yes, and then she says the cheating scandal is averted, and they see Andre. Andre overheard something about cheating. Vanessa explains it away, and then she leaves them to be themselves. I mean, to be with each other. We see Elon. He visits Joey about Jacob, and Joey tells him he's gonna make Jacob part of his crew. We go back to the hospital. Chelsea is praising Martin about his life, and she was rooting for him. Vernon talks with Martin about the votes, and Vernon gives him a pep talk. We see Darlene. Darlene is, we're at the police station now. Darlene is talking to Jacob. I'm sorry, she's telling Jacob that Elon and Isaiah shared a moment, and she thinks he's coming back. Jacob tells her not to push it, or he's gonna dip. We go back to the hospital. Naomi brought Isaiah what he asked for. She says she owed him for what he did for their anniversary when Jacob was undercover. He hopes he gets to show this to Eva. Naomi tells him that she will. We see Leslie. She gets off the elevator, and the family looks at her. She looks at Anita and she nods, and Anita nods back, and then comes to her and she gives her the go ahead, and she gives the family the go ahead. Leslie sits next to Chelsea, and she tells them, she doesn't expect them to take her word as gospel, but they are all starting a new chapter. Kat risked her life to save Eva, and there aren't enough words to express how grateful she is. Martin tells her maybe she'll find enough words to thank Kat when the time comes. Chelsea tells her that Kat made this decision on her own, and to remember that. Ted says he has two amazing daughters, and Leslie says who now share more than just DNA. Ted says that this may be the push they needed. It's a lot easier to find common ground when life forces you to lean on each other. Leslie sees the doctor, and they all get up. They all get together to hear the news. He tells them that the surgery was a success, and they're stable, and they're doing well, and they're in recovery. Shanice tells them 3 visitors at a time, and the nurses will come get them when it's time to go in, and everyone is happy. So we see Vanessa. She's talking to Isaiah, and she gives him the message that Joey gave her. Sorry about that. So she gives a message that Joey gave her to give to him. We see Danny. She's on the phone with Nicole and tells her that everything is okay. Nicole is on her way. She tells Danny that she doesn't know who Ted is going to see first, and with everything that he's gone through, it would be cruel to make him choose. So she is choosing for him, and she tells her to tell him that she will be there for Kat. Danny doesn't know how he can put his feelings first, and she's very mature, and makes a dig about Bill. And Nicole tells her not to take this marriage for granted. We see Andre and Ted talking. He's happy for them. Danny walks up. She says she spoke with Nicole. And as she's about to speak, Leslie hops up and says, she tells Ted to come with her to see Eva. And he hesitates. And then Danny says, Nicole wants him to be with Eva and she'll be with Kat. Leslie says good and tells Isaiah him too. Eva would love to see him when she wakes up. We see Martin is telling Chelsea and Naomi that both of his sisters are saved, and he has been feeling guilty about pressuring Kat, and maybe he pushed too hard. Chelsea says Kat was going to make up her own mind as she always does. And it's just like, yeah, she was gonna make up her mind as she always does, but Martin wasn't asked to her. And for you to make it seem like, oh no, it's okay that he did what he did because Kat was gonna make up her mind is some BS because he needs to apologize because he did go in and let half for no reason, like no reason at all. But of course, Chelsea, you never have your bestie cuz, your sister cuz, whatever you want to call her, you never have her back, and you don't hold people's feet to the fire for how they be treating her, but she will do the same for you. And I'm skipping ahead, so let me get back to the let me get back to this episode. So and the nurses come out and tell them that they're all settled and they can go in and see them. They go, Eva, Isaiah, and Leslie, I mean, not Eva, but Ted, Isaiah, and Leslie leave to go. And Danny tells Tomas that Nicole will be there in a sec and she's going to need some one on one time with Kat. Eva is waking up, and Leslie, Ted, and Isaiah are there. She wants to know what happened. Ted tells her about her being trapped, and she says, "Oh, with Kat." Leslie tells her that her sister saved her life, and she says, "Who saved my life?" We see Nicole. She is in the room. She is in Kat's room, and she's by herself. So this isn't the picture, but she's by herself. Kat is on a ventilator. She's talking to her. She's telling her she's proud of her. She tells her everyone is waiting for her to open her eyes and tells her to wake up when she's ready. The sooner she does, the sooner they can all love on her. We see Chelsea and Tomas. They're talking with each other and they agree to go in together. That way they can figure out how they're going to handle her and take care of her when she leaves the hospital. We see Carlton approaching Naomi and ask her if she wants to talk about rescheduling because she canceled an appointment or whatever, and she says she'll call them but not here. um Danny tells Tomas and Chelsea that they can go in and see Kat, and if she wakes up to call Nicole. Vanessa asks her how Kat is. Um Danny tells her, she hasn't woken up, but it is what it not it is what it is, but she hasn't woken up and they're still waiting or whatever. So Vanessa has to leave for a showing. So Danny thanks her for everything. We see Joey and Elon continue to talk about Jacob and the impaler. Joey then Elon says he'll make sure that Jacob doesn't bother him no more. As he's leaving, Joey asks about Isaiah, and Elon wants to know what he wants with his son. Joey plays it off. We go back to the police station with Jacob and Darlene. Jacob is telling Darlene to try with Eva if he wants to have Isaiah. They both have their issues with Leslie and Eva, but Isaiah loves her and she says she will try to give her a chance. He gets a text from Naomi telling them that, everything went well and Eva woke up. So we go back to Eva's room, and Ted is telling her that Kat was the only match and donated her liver, and she asked willingly. Isaiah says they can unpack that later, and he gives her the bracelet to hold on to. We see Tomas and Kat. They are in Kat's room. They're talking to her. She still hasn't woken up. Ted comes in to check on her. Chelsea leaves the room. Tomas asks about Eva and wants to know why Kat isn't awake. Ted says everyone responds differently and it doesn't mean that anything is wrong. Tomas looks worried. Nicole comes in and he leaves so that they can be together. Um, Martin gets a call from Shonda. The results are in. We see Ted. He's back with Eva. She asked about Kat, but she's still out. We see Nicole. She is sitting by Kat's bedside. Um, and Danny and Andre are looking in on her. Danny wants to know if she could um, Danny doesn't know if she would give up a piece of her body to someone she can't stand. Andre says when Kat loves, she loves with her whole body, but you wasn't saying that earlier when you was talking about how Kat was vindictive and she wasn't going to give up a piece of her body because um she wanted Ted to alter herself, but okay. He noticed Danny's a little off. He asked if she's okay. And if he needs her to stay because he has a job, she says no, she's good, and go do what he got to do. Ted is back to sit with Kat. Andre leaves. Nicole tells Ted she's happy they're on the other side of this, and to think if Kat didn't do this, they would be mourning Eva right now. Kat's heart rate starts to elevate, and the doctors rush in and push them out. Ted tells Nicole and Danny that Kat is going to be all right. She has to be. We go back to the waiting room, and Martin tells the family he won the primary. They congratulate him. He's checking his phone. He gets a message from Smitty saying congratulations. He's watching a live with one of his constituents, giving him praise. He goes to show it to Vernon. They see the nurses rushing to the room, and they wonder if it's Kat's room. We see Danny come running out, and Naomi stops her, and she tells them what happened, and the family starts to worry. And we see Nicole and Ted um, at Kat's hospital room looking on worried. So that's how that episode ended. It was a good episode. I mean, like I said, these episodes irritated my soul. Just it irritated my soul with how they were treating Kat and how they were forcing her to do something that they knew she didn't want to do. And it was just it just didn't feel right. I didn't like it. But soapy wise, it was a soap. This is what a soap is. We need the drama, we need the cliffhangers, we need all of this. This is what we need. We need the soapy drama. So this is how it's supposed to be. We knew when we found out that something was going to happen, we knew it was either going to be Eva that had to do something for Kat or Kat had to do something for Eva. I low key wish it was Eva that was doing something for Kat to see how she would have acted. But of course, it's all Kat has to be the one to give up when it comes to Eva. Like, but whatever. It is what it is. That was the episode. Make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and turning on your post notifications so you'll know whenever I post. Get down in the comments. Tell me what you guys thought of this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one.